Strava, fierce rivals. So let's see if we can hit the Strava target of 18:30. Yes, on Sunday I am returning to Oulton Park race circuit, not to do a duathlon, but to do a 5k race at the Oulton Park Running Festival. Now this is a race I've done for the past 2 years, so this will be the third year on the trot. I've done a 5k every time as a warm-up for some kind of duathlon, national duathlon champs, and the week after is actually the national sprint duathlon champs. But for the reasons I've described, I kind of can that as a goal, because I don't think I'm going to be competitive with the current kind of form and stuff going on. But we can still do a race, can't we, for mental well-being, like I said. No idea what shape I'm in, although Strava cheekily has raised the bar. When I did a park run maybe, I don't know, 3 months ago, park run was estimating I would do 19:06, and I pretty much hit that, and I thought, crikey, I'm a minute behind where I was the previous year. Well, now Strava is saying 18:30. So that's quite a hike, isn't it? 30 seconds. Am I in 18:30 shape? Not sure. For context, last year when I did this run 5k at Oulton Park, I did 18:12. The year before that I did 18:06. Now I accept I'm going to get slower, but I'd like to think that I'm capable, not sure I'll do it on Sunday, but I'm capable of around 18:20. We'll see. And an interesting target that crept in for me was the North Staff Road Running Association, a race series for the local area that I've joined this year. Well, the age group record for a 60 to 64 sits, I think, at 18:23. Now that's got to be doable when I'm on form and I'm on shape, but I just don't know whether I've got that in me. But it's handy to have a target, so my focus is to race against Strava. So let's see if we can hit the Strava target of 18:30. Stretch target will be sub 18:23. I'm just going to race it and see what I can do. It's a tricky course to pace actually, because it is a bit undulating. Surprisingly fast considering the undulations, but we'll see how we go. I'll record it, come back to you with the results. Okay, get on with this bit of a cool down now after doing a bit of a session on the bike. Welcome to the fun bus. Yes, this 5k is part of the Run Through Run Festival. So there's a number of events all going on at the same time, up to a marathon. So the 5k is off last, but there'll be lots of busy runners going round and round the Oulton Park race circuit. It's quite a nice dynamic, although the 5k off last does encounter a bit of traffic. And you'll see that because I've done this race the last 2 years, and the last 2 years has been a bit of a duck and dive, weaving between the different distances as I'm running. But let's negotiate that when it comes. So a bit of context then. 2024 I did this race and it was 18:03. Nice, happy with that. Last year, 2025, I did 18:12. I actually wasn't too chuffed with that because I thought I was in better shape. But as it turned out, that was the fastest I went all year. It was pretty much all downhill from there with injuries and niggles. So I use this race as a bit of a marker, and the course on the race circuit, if you've seen those previous videos you'll know, is not flat. It is rolling. There's some really sharp kicker climbs, a few downhills, but of course the ups and downs never even out, do they? The uphills take more of an impact on your pace, don't they, than the downhills add back. So it will be what it will be, but I've got some good markers, that's the point. Now, what am I going to do in terms of pace? I have no idea whatsoever, because I have scaled the intensities back. I've kind of lowered my expectations while I try and align my work, life, sport balance. And some of the sessions I would have done traditionally, I haven't done in terms of intensity, getting peak run form and bike form. I just haven't done them because I've tried to balance off the intensity and the stress to make sure the body's looked after, with a few health issues to juggle in as well. Shut up, sat nav. Right, so what is the pace? Well, Strava has me tracking with a predicted 18:30. Now if I did run 18:30, with my current backdrop, plus everything that's been going on, I think I'd take that. I think I'll be happy. Although, you know, it's a far cry from last year when I was aiming for closer to 18 minutes or sub 18 minutes. Who knows, maybe age is catching up. At 61 now, I just can't maintain the speed, can I? And add to the fact that I've scaled things back in general, my mindset is generally I'm just not going to run as fast. But who knows, maybe that'll play into my favour because I'm fresher. I don't know. Don't feel particularly fresh. But let's see, let's get there, get warmed up. A good long warm up I feel is needed because everything just feels a bit rusty. And then we'll hit the 5k and I'll take you along with me. See you out there. So the weapons of choice today are, yes, the ASICS Metaspeed Sky Tokyo. First time out in a proper race. I've worn them in a couple of sessions. Yes, undoubtedly they are fast. I just don't know whether they suit me. They're meant to suit me with my style of running, but we'll see what the speed's like today. They are incredibly light, the lightest race shoe that I've got. So that's got to help on these little climbs and kickers that we've got here, haven't we? And then use the speed, use the shoe to take me forward and relax at speed on the declines.
3, 2, 1, go!
And we're off. As usual, the young people get a start and off they go. Now, take a note of this guy in green, not the orange fella. The guy in green, he plays a part later on in this video. Right, under the bridge, and then it's a short out and back on this 1 lap course. We go down the dip, doesn't look much of an incline, but actually it is, especially when you get to the bit now, you start going uphill, all your pace is just sucked away. Right early on in the race you feel like you're redlining it, and it's so hard to go too fast, too quickly, too soon. But before you know it, a turn around, round we go, and turn the circle is rather wide, and off we go. Trying to relax, but you've got to do the reverse, haven't you? The reverse of the dip. So down you go, back up, heading towards the bridge. Now I've got my eye on the guy in orange. I suspect he started off a wee bit too quickly. And as we progress round the corner, he's dying a death, so that's okay. Then, just up ahead, 2 young folks, the target. And as we get to 1 kilometre, I look at the watch, 3:37. It's about right, I think, considering the up and down way the course is. Not too bad. So, 2nd kilometre, then you go down the hill, round the corner, and there's Mr. Greentop, who you could just see him over on the right. I've got my eye on him because I know he's my competitor in this race. So we progress 2k, 3:36 for the 2nd k. And then we come to this bit, which is the hairpin. Doesn't look much of a hairpin, does it? But it is banked, and it does give you 180 degrees. And you start coming back the other way, and it's slightly uphill drag as we enter now, getting towards the sort of 2.5k point. And up ahead, you can see, is the first of the real kicker inclines. A little caravan at the top of the hill there, if you can see it. And this is where you've really got to dig in on the 3rd and 4th k, because the climbs really do start to impact you, and you can see everybody's grinding up the hill here. I wonder why they have an ambulance on that bit, but they do. So as we crest the top, we hit the 3rd k, 3:49. It's slower than I've done before, and I realise that I've got to try and make some ground up. Now it is a decline, as you can see here, gradual descent as you're coming up to the other kicker. Let's speed up a bit, get round the descent. And as you can see, as we're weaving in and out of people, we can see the way that bridge is. That is the climb up ahead. Right, this is where it really starts to grind. And you end up with a slower 4th k as well. Let's see how I'm sounding. Yeah, I think I'm dying a death, the same as everybody else on this climb. But I do know, once you get to the top, it's a fast k into the finish. And I've always done my fastest k on this course as the final kilometre. Right, coming up now, the 4th k done, 3:52. There's a Silverdale runner just behind. She gives me a shout out, I think, on the channel. Right, the 4th k, yeah, that is slow. I know I've got to do quicker than I've ever been before on this final k, so I'm digging in. Let's see where we get. Fast forward a bit, here we are, we're weaving in and out between the folks. Still lots of marathon runners on the course, 10k runners on the course. causing a few jams, and I'm searching for Mr. Greentop. He's there in the distance, if you can see him amongst all these fast moving people. He's there, slightly downhill now, and I know when you see that bridge up ahead, the Oulton Park Bridge, I know that I'm getting towards the end and I've really got to empty the tank and do everything you can. And there he is, just going under the bridge. It's Mr. Greentop, man. He's my target. He's the third place. Can I catch him? I'm really starting to struggle now, and I am, really emptying the tank. I'm on the limit, and as we get closer and closer, I know I'm gaining on him. I've got a chance. I think in my head I have a chance of bagging that third place. I can just focus on the back, keep pushing, and then as I get closer to him, he looks at his watch, and I think I've got him. I think I'm going to get on his shoulder and be able to push the last part and catch him. I'm not walking in a straight line. All done. Wow. Well, it was great conditions. Slight breeze on the return leg. I don't think I could have paced that any better, to be honest. I was right on the limit, and the guy in green ahead of me was a good carrot, and I thought I was going to get him, and then he looked round and saw me coming and he put a burst in. The gap pretty much stayed constant, and my finishing sprint of a slug stood no chance of catching him on the final 200 metres. I'm not sure of the time. Hopefully it was around a low 18:20, I think, which is beyond expectation, and Strava took you down. 18:30, I think we took you down. Still nowhere near where I want to be. 18:12 last year, 17:58 the year before. The rate of decline is too big, so I want to close that gap, and I think to at least around 18:10 later on this year, maybe. Mid-Cheshire 5k again coming up in May, so there's a target. But considering I've wound things back, not had the intensity, I'll take that today. Good result, 4th place. I'll get the chip time, put it on the screen. Catch you next video.